When I drive onto the site, I don't see old, decrepit buildings. I see an economic engine that is straining at the bit to get as big as my imagination, as the community's imagination.
We really needed a lot of space because everything that we build is really big and really heavy. We needed it to be expandable because we were going to start as a small operation and then grow to a larger operation, and we needed to be able to lean on certain infrastructure.
The biggest draw for us was the fact that there's excess equipment here on base that we could modify and use for our patented technology.
Welcome to the Riverbank Army Ammunition Plant, currently the Riverbank Industrial Complex. This is located in the fertile Central Valley of California.
Riverbank is a unique community. It's a bedroom community for some workers going over the Altamont. It also is an agricultural community.
In its heyday, the Riverbank Army Ammunition Plant was a very robust industrial site. It had about 3,500 employees, which is remarkable when you consider the community only had about 15,000 at that time. The Riverbank community was aware that this site would potentially be on the BRAC list.
First, I think when it did hit the list, a lot of people were confused on what was going to happen. A lot of people thought it was just going to shut down and that would be it.
So the community, instead of fighting, embraced it and began the reuse process, as all reuse processes start with the formation of a local redevelopment authority. The local redevelopment authority is the agency that is tasked with making all the decisions on reuse and conveyance. We are the entity that's recognized by the Department of Defense, and our sole purpose is to transfer federal property from federal to local control. The next step is to understand what this process entails, and that's where the support of the Office of Economic Adjustment and other reuse authorities that have gone before are extremely valuable.
The community's definition of success for the Riverbank Industrial Complex is mixed. I believe that they're very comfortable with the reuse plan that we have, and that the companies that are coming on in are beneficial to the community.
The community very clearly had a shared vision of a facility that allowed entrepreneurs, innovation, but conscientious, green and sustainable practices to take place.
We're involved in materials research and development of engineered materials as well as product manufacturing. The most important for us was the large hydraulic forging presses that were on site. And so with some modifications, we're able to transform basically excess equipment that would have been cut up and scrapped into our technology and reuse this equipment.
And our first product is called the Z-Board. It's a weight sensing motorized skateboard. We build them all here at our facility. All of our pallet racks were original from the base. Some of the fans that we use, some of the chairs we use, some of the desks that we use, a lot of simple stuff that we use every single day we were able to get from the facility.
The challenges of a reuse authority have to do with, one, the unknown prior to taking over the site, and two, the process itself can be taxing. We're talking about an inherently complicated process with multiple layers of governments that all have a right to interact on this transition.
One thing that I can make an analogy to when a facility is BRAC'd is like a forest fire. It comes through and it ravages old timber, new growth, and it just devastates the environment. When a facility is BRAC'd, a lot of people lose their jobs, and it has a significant impact on the community. And it, just like a forest takes time to regrow, so does replenishing a BRAC'd facility with new businesses, new employees. Very critical that the local government is heavily involved and committed to seeing the facility transition into a viable entity.